Mataram. Vande Mataram. A very pleasant morning to one and all present here. Though the world is facing a crisis, yet our patriotic feelings have led us to find a way to pay homage to our nation through a virtual celebration. So, today we have gathered here to celebrate in cheerful and lively spirit our 72nd Republic Day. I, Harshita,
And I, Rudra, wish you
wish
all
you all
a
very
very
happy
happy
Republic.
Republic Day. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. So let light shine out of darkness. We will start our program with a lamp lighting ceremony and flag hoisting.
This year, we have arranged for a virtual Republic Day celebration. I request everyone to stand up while we light the lamp and hoist the national flag to the tunes of the national anthem played by Darshkoshti.
Problem with the video, then again, Nirjit. Yojana ma'am, will it be possible for you to play this video? And I think Nirjit is having some problem.
I'm checking, ma'am.
Yojana ma'am, you check that. I will keep admitting.
Prayer should not be regarded as a duty which must be performed, but rather as a privilege to be enjoyed, a rare delight that is always revealing some new beauty. To begin with the function, I would like everyone to get ready for the school prayer.
Where the mind is without fear, and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake.
I believe our flag is more than just cloth and ink. It is a universally recognized symbol that stands for liberty, unity, peace, and freedom. It is the history of our nation, and it's marked by the blood of those who died defending it. A thoughtful mind, when it sees a nation's flag, sees not the flag, but the nation itself. So let us welcome the former head boy Arush Birla from ICSE section to enrich us with his thoughts on patriotism and leadership.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ayush Birla, and today I would like to express my thoughts to everyone present. Republic Day is one of the most celebrated days in India, as on this day in the year 1950, a new era for the Indian polity had begun, as India emerged as a sovereign and democratic republic. That was a day when many traditions were broken and foundation for new ones were laid. For the first time in modern era, the whole Indian subcontinent came under one constitution under self-government, and people as a whole were introduced to universal adult franchise. We emerged from the shackles of slavery with the fire of freedom burning in our hearts, and this day sounded the reverberations of the spirit of constitution and the sacrifice made by our leaders to see a free and democratic India. This year has been no different in terms of breaking traditions. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the former Student Council had broken many traditions and formed new ones. As the outgoing head boy, I sincerely hope that the incoming student body will uphold the necessary traditions, break some, and form many new ones. My message to them is to be like water. A water forms many physical features like lakes and rivers, but retains its natural nature. Water is a universal solvent, but still does not dissolve many substances, and water is gentle and soft to touch, but still erodes the mightiest mountains. Just like that, a leader should be dynamic, but retain his individuality. Ignore destructive criticism and work on constructive criticism, and be gentle and humble, but have the capabilities to overcome the greatest difficulties. India has a great lineage of leaders, and a younger generation aspires to be like them. And I am sure that our aspirations will come to life under the fruitful guidance of our elders and our teachers. I wish the new student body best of luck and hope that they have a successful year ahead. Thank you.
India became an independent nation on 15th of August 1947, and on 26 January 1950 the Constitution of India came into force. 29 states, 9 union territories, 1,618 languages, 6,400 castes, 6 major religions, 6 ethnic groups, but one country. This shows our true identity, the socialist, sovereign, secular, democratic Republic of India. We are not from Maharashtra, Gujarat, Kerala, or any other state. We are primarily Indians. This message has been carried proudly from generation to generation, and it will keep doing so. As we are living in a democratic republic, we have freedom in our mind, faith in words, pride in our hearts, the blood and sacrifice of our ancestors on our lands, and patriotism in our souls.
The rich heritage and culture of our country have inspired young souls from all over the country right from their childhood. This instills in the child a sense of pride, respect, and sense of duty towards this nation. To express these feelings, our former junior head girl, Ridhima Jain, is coming up next with her speech.
नमस्ते नमस्कार। लिपटकर बदन कई तिरंगे में आज भी आते हैं। लिपटकर बदन कई तिरंगे में आज भी आते हैं। यूं ही नहीं दोस्तों, हम ये पर्व मनाते हैं। 26 जनवरी 1950 को भारत का संविधान लागू हुआ। इस संविधान को तैयार करने में 2 वर्ष 11 महीने और 18 दिन लगे। ये दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा लिखित संविधान है। गणतंत्र दिवस भारत देश का एक राष्ट्रीय पर्व है। इस दिन को राष्ट्रीय अवकाश घोषित किया जाता है। यह पूरे देश में उत्साह के साथ मनाया जाता है। स्वतंत्रता प्राप्ति के बाद 26 जनवरी सन 1950 के दिन देश के प्रथम राष्ट्रपति डॉक्टर राजेंद्र प्रसाद जी ने 21 तोपों की सलामी के साथ राष्ट्रध्वज को फहराकर भारत को पूर्ण राष्ट्र घोषित किया था। देश के सभी नागरिकों के लिए यही संदेश है कि आज का दिन आनंद, जयघोष मनाने के साथ समर्पण का दिन भी होना चाहिए। जो सपने हमारे महापुरुषों वीरों ने देखे और इसे बचाने में अपने प्राणों की आहुति भी दे दी, उन सपनों को साकार करना है। इस देश के हर एक नागरिक शांति, स्वतंत्रता, अहिंसा, प्रेम के साथ जिए, यही हमारी इच्छा है। ये नफरत बुरी है, न पालो इसे। ये नफरत बुरी है, न पालो इसे। दिलों में कालीस है, निकालो इसे। ये नफरत बुरी है, न पालो इसे। दिलों में कालीस है, निकालो इसे। ना तेरा ना मेरा, ना इसका ना उसका, ये सबका वतन है, बचा लो इसे। ना तेरा ना मेरा, ना इसका ना उसका, ये सबका वतन है, बचा लो इसे। ये सबका वतन है, बचा लो इसे। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Ridhima. Thank you, Ridhima, for enlightening us with your powerful and highly inspiring speech. The freedom of India is the result of all the blood, sweat, and tears lost by numerous patriots who gave themselves up with intense struggle and without any second thoughts. They put their nation before their soul, which was the defining moment of our efforts for freedom. Let's now welcome Dikshita, Dhriti, Bhumi, Arav, Mihira, Kavya, Shubh, Vihan, Moksh, Aditya, and Vivan, who are going to present a Hindi play on patriotism titled Dil Diya Hai Ja Bhi Denge E Watan Tere Liye.
Nirjeet, you are on mute.
आज सलाम है देश के उन वीरों को जिनके कारण ये दिन आते हैं। आज सलाम है देश के उन वीरों को जिनके कारण ये दिन आते हैं। वो माँ खुशनसीब होती है जिनके बच्चों के बलिदान देश के काम आते हैं। वो माँ खुशनसीब होती है जिनके बच्चों के बलिदान देश के काम आते हैं।
आदरणीय प्रधानाचार्य जी, शिक्षक विभाग के सभी सदस्यों, अभिभावकों और मेरे सहपाठियों, आज के इस पावन पर्व 71वें गणतंत्र दिवस पर आप सभी को तहे दिल से ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं।
तो देर किस बात की, शुरू करते हैं हमारा जोश और जुनून की अद्भुत कहानियां। इस छोटे से नाटक का नाम है दिल दिया है जान भी देंगे ए वतन तेरे लिए। दिल दिया है जान भी देंगे ए वतन तेरे लिए।
चंदन की इस निडरता, साहस और ओजस्वी शब्दों ने इस नाटक को और भी ज्यादा रोचक बना दिया है। रक्त चंदन लगाकर अपनी माँ और अपनी भारत माँ का मान बढ़ाया है। सच्चा प्यार और सच्ची वीरता कभी निष्फल नहीं होती है। जाना तुम दूर दूर उठ रही है पश्चिम में दूर दूर, अब मत जाना तुम दूर दूर उठ रही है पश्चिम में दूर दूर, अब मत जाना तुम दूर दूर। क्या गुनगुना रही हो माँ? देखो मेरा चाकू ही नहीं तेज हो पा रहा।
वो भी मेरा गाना सुन रहा है, डर का गाना है, पर तुम डरते नहीं हो, ये बात मुझे अच्छी तरह मालूम है।
आज मेरे जन्मदिन पर हर वर्ष की तरह क्या हथियारों की भी पूजा होगी माँ?
क्या होगी? फिर तुम्हारा मनपसंद खाना बनेगा, सब तैयार है, बस खीर रह गई है। दूध नहीं लाया सुजान?
मेरे लाल, संभल कर जा। माँ पहले बर्तन तो दे दो, अभी लाता हूँ दूध माँ। समय बर्बाद मत करो, जल्दी चलो।
आगे जा रहे हो?
बहन, अपनी जान बचाओ। मैंने अपनी आंखों से देखा है, तैमूर के सिपाही लूटने आ रहे हैं। जल्दी भागो।
मेरा चंदन दूध लेकर आ रहा है।
चलो चलो, जाकर जंगल में छिप जाते हैं। जल्दी चलो।
बहन, तुम क्या कर रही हो? मेरे साथ आके जंगल में छिप जाओ।
चंदन को छोड़कर तुम ही नहीं।
तैमूर के सिपाही चंदन के घर में घुसकर तबाही मचा रहे हैं।
सब भाग गए, जो डर गया वो मर गया। इस घर में तो कुछ भी नहीं है लूटने के लिए। हा 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 हा। वहां पे तो कुछ बर्तन दिख रहे हैं। कुछ अच्छा खाना बनेगा, जैसे कि खीर, दाल चावल, रोटी।
खामोश, तुम यहाँ खाना ढूंढ रहे हो, सजा मिलेगी तुम सबको। निकल जाओ मेरी नजरों के सामने से।
क्षमा चाहता हूँ महाराज।
रफा दफा हो जाओ यहाँ से।
माँ, माँ कहाँ हो माँ? कौन हो तुम? मेरे घर में क्या कर रहे हो? और मेरी माँ कहाँ है?
बच्चे खामोश, इतने सारे सवाल हमसे पूछने की जरूरत कैसे हुई तुम्हारी?
बिना किसी इजाजत के किसी के घर में घुसकर तोड़-फोड़ करना चाहे अन्याय नहीं। और कौन हो तुम?
हा 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 हा। मेरा नाम तैमूर है।
ओह, मेरी माँ ने बताया था तुम लोगों के घरों को
तलवार देखी है?
ठहरो, ये रही मेरी छोटी तलवार।
मेरी तलवार के सामने तुम्हारा छोटा सा चाकू। हा 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 हा।
ये देखो इसकी धार, सर भी कलम कर सकता है।
ओह मेरे बहादुर दोस्त, आज से तुम हमारे दोस्त बन गए हो। जो कुछ तुम हमसे मांगोगे हम तुम्हें देंगे।
बस अन्याय करना छोड़ दो और एक अच्छे राजा की तरह अपने देश की हिफाजत करो।
हम तुम्हारी बात मान लेते हैं। यह हमारी खूनी तलवार तुम्हारे चरणों पर। मैं जीऊंगा अमन के लिए और मरूंगा भी अमन के लिए।
चंदन, मेरे बच्चे, तुम्हें कुछ हुआ तो नहीं ना? तुम ठीक हो ना?
हाँ माँ, मैं ठीक हूँ, तुम ठीक हो ना? ये देखो तैमूर की तलवार।
कहाँ से मिली? तैमूर यहाँ पे जरूर आया होगा।
हाँ माँ, जानती हो वह मुझसे लड़ना चाहता था, हाँ, पर मुझे सलाम करके और तलवार देकर चला गया।
सारा घर उजाड़ दिया है। टीके का चंदन भी।
ये रहा टीके का चंदन। अब मुझे खून से टीका लगेगा और ये मेरा प्रण है माँ। ये बात तुम हवाओं को बताए रखना। रोशनी होगी, चिरागों को जलाए रखना। ये बात तुम हवाओं को बताए रखना। रोशनी होगी, चिरागों को जलाए रखना। लहू देकर जिसकी हिफाजत हमने की है, मेरे देश को दुश्मनों से बचाए रखना। जय हिंद, जय हिंद। भारत देश अमर रहे, भारत देश अमर रहे। गणतंत्र दिवस अमर रहे, गणतंत्र दिवस अमर रहे। भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय।
शाबाश मेरे लाल, जुग जुग जियो। जय हिंद।
भारत माँ को ऐसे बच्चों की जरूरत है जो चंदन की तरह अपने हौसलों को बुलंद रखे, जो दुश्मनों से ना डरे, जो तैमूर जैसे अहंकारी के सामने अपने बहादुरी का परिचय दे सके। अंत में मैं इतना ही कहूँगा दोस्तों, दिल में बहादुरी के जज्बात रखना, दिल में बहादुरी के जज्बात रखना, सच बोलने की औकात रखना। तो पूरी दुनिया तुम्हारे कदमों में होगी, पूरी दुनिया तुम्हारे कदमों में होगी। सिर्फ होठों पर मुस्कान रखना। जय हिंद। धन्यवाद।
That was truly an energetic and soul-moving play. Today, as we have assembled here, I would like to reverberate these words. The challenge of leadership is to be strong but not rude, be kind but not weak, be bold but not a bully, be thoughtful but not lazy, be humble but not timid, be proud but not arrogant, have humor but without folly. A true leader leads the path to the nation's progress and is ever ready to surrender himself for the nation. The moment we surrender ourselves to the divine, a feeling of peace and relief exudes from within that will lead us to follow the path of righteousness. We will have a popular hymn that was composed by Saint Narasi Mehta in 15th century. It is in Gujarati language. The bhajan was included in the daily prayer of Mahatma Gandhi. This hymn describes the best ideals and instincts of Vaishnava people. So let us put our hands together for this devotional song will be presented by Khush Shah.
वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे। पर दुखे उपकार करे तो ये मन अभिमान ना आड़े रे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई झाड़े रे। सकल लोक माँ सुने वंदे निंदा न करे के निरे। पाछ काछ मन निष्ठट राखे धन धन जननी ते नीरे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे। समदृष्टि ने तृष्णा त्यागी पर त्रिजे ने मात रे। जेवा थकी असत्य न बोले पर धन नव झाले हाथ रे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई झाड़े रे।
Thank you, Kush. Thank you, Kush, for the soothing melody. Now, last but not the least, as we all know, an eminent Indian jurist, economist, and politician, Bhim Rao Ramji Ambedkar, or Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, is one of the architects of modern India and the Indian democracy. The father of the Constitution of India, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, studied the constitutions of 60 countries and put an enormous amount of effort to draft the Indian Constitution, which serves as the holy book of the sovereign democratic Republic of India. He says freedom of mind is the real freedom. A person whose mind is not free, though he may not be in chains, is a slave, not a free man. One whose mind is not free, though he may not be in prison, is a prisoner and not a free man. One whose mind is not free, though alive, is no better than dead. Freedom of mind is the proof of one's existence. With this, we conclude our first part of today's program. Now we will have a short intermission of informative advertisement on our flag.
Yes, ma'am.
मम्मा हो गया, इधर आके दिखा। अपनी आंखों से देख, सिलाई सही हुआ क्या? सारे टुकड़े ध्यान से सिलाई करना है। ठीक है मम्मा, शुरू से। क्यों मम्मा? अरे बेटा, इस काम को ना कारीगर की नहीं कलाकार की आंखों से देखनी चाहिए। अरे सुन, वो 3:2 याद रखना, उसमें एक सूता धागा गलत नहीं होना चाहिए। ठीक है मम्मा। मम्मा, फिर से गलती कर दी। बाएं हाथ से 1 से 24 गिन और दाएं हाथ से खींच के पकड़ कपड़े को, कोई ऊपर कोई नीचे ना हो जाए। चल, आंखों में पानी छिड़क और चालू हो जा फिर से बेटा। सही से करेगी तो खाना मिल जाएगा जल्दी से। जा।
सुनो जी, कल सुबह कर सकती है? आज रात भी बहुत हुई है।
रात ही तो हुई है, रात खत्म तो नहीं हुई।
मम्मा, आज तो खाना बहुत ही अच्छा हुआ।
एक साइड खत्म हो गया है तो दूसरी साइड खत्म करके ही सोना। गिनती गलत नहीं होनी चाहिए, परफेक्ट होनी चाहिए। माँ, मैं अभी तक आपकी तरह कारीगर नहीं बन पाई, लेकिन मुझे थोड़ा समय दे दो। मैं भी परफेक्ट कारीगर बनूंगी और आपका नाम रोशन करूंगी। जैसे आप सोचती हैं, मैं भी वैसे ही सोचती हूँ। देश का नाम और देश के काम पे गर्व मुझे भी है माँ। पूरी रात पापा के साथ बैठ के ये फ्लैग मैंने बनाया है। गलती होगा शायद, लेकिन दिल में जज्बा आप ही की तरह है कि इंडिया का तिरंगा परफेक्ट बनाएंगे। स्टिचिंग हो, रेशियो हो, डाइंग हो, मैं सब परफेक्ट करूंगी माँ। बस थोड़ा समय दो।
कर्नाटका में बंगेरी की कर्नाटका खादी ग्रामोद्योग संयुक्त संघ भारत की एकमात्र संस्था है जिसको भारत सरकार हमारी तिरंगा बनाने की अनुमति देती है। इस संस्था को संपूर्ण रूप से चलाने का काम संभालती हैं ऐसी कुछ महिलाएं जो आती हैं 3 घरों से। सिर्फ इन्हीं पे वो तिरंगा बनाने की जिम्मेदारी बनती है जो शान से लहराती है हमारे प्रधानमंत्री, राष्ट्रपति और अधिकारियों के दफ्तर में। ISI की पहचान इस संस्थे को इन तिरंगों के सारे भारत में बेचने का अधिकार देती है। हर एक तिरंगा BIS के दिए हुए निर्देशों पर पूरी तरह से आधारित है। आकार, प्रकार, धागे की मजबूती या रंग में जरा सी चूक भी बनाने वाले को जेल में डाल सकती है। 9 नापों में बनने वाली ये तिरंगे 3:2 का अनुपात मानते हैं। 18 स्तरों के गुणवत्ता नियंत्रण होते हैं हर एक तिरंगे की। इस प्रक्रिया के 6 धाप होते हैं: कटाई, बुनाई, श्वेतन, रंजन, चक्र मुद्रण, सिलाई, टॉगलिंग। खादी का बना हुआ सूती, रेशम या वुल ही इस्तेमाल होता है। 2 तरह की खादी इस्तेमाल होती है, खादी बंटिंग तिरंगे के लिए और खादी डक कपड़े को खूंटी से बांधने के लिए। खादी डक के लिए 150 सूता होनी चाहिए प्रति स्क्वायर सेंटीमीटर, 4 सूता प्रति इंच और वजन 205 ग्राम प्रति स्क्वायर फुट। बीआईएस द्वारा कपड़े की जांच के बाद ही उसको 3 भागों में बांटा जाता है, जिसको फिर भगवा, सफेद और हरा रंग किया जाता है। सफेद भाग के दोनों तरफ अशोक चक्र इस तरह से छापा जाता है कि 24 स्पोक्स का संकलन हो। भगवा, सफेद और हरे कपड़ों के 3 टुकड़ों को विनिर्देश के अनुसार सिया जाता है, इस्त्री किया जाता है और बांधा जाता है। उसके बाद बीआईएस उसको फिर एक बार जांचती है और उनके हाँ भरने के बाद ही उन तिरंगों को बेचने की अनुमति मिलती है। तिरंगे की तरफ ये बेमिसाल निष्ठा और निपुणता की प्रति नजर की वजह से ही इन्हीं महिलाओं के ऊपर हमारी तिरंगा बनाने की जिम्मेदारी आज भी बरकरार है। शाम स्टील सलाम करते हैं ऐसे माओ को जो देश का गर्व अटूट रखने के लिए अपने बच्चों को बनाते हैं हमेशा के लिए स्ट्रॉन्ग।
If your actions create a legacy that inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are an excellent leader. I, Parth,
Riya,
And Tanush,
take the opportunity to welcome you all now on this special occasion of virtual investiture ceremony, Billabong High International School, Thane. Before we start with the ceremony, I would like to invite our former school task force leader, Nirjit Raja, to share a report on the activities conducted by the Student Council last year.
Good morning, respected Principal Ma'am, section heads, teachers, parents, and my fellow council members. A famous quote by Henry Ford: "Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success." So, with this quote, it is my honor and privilege to present the annual report of the Student Council 2020-21. The core team for the Student Council was formed in the month of March last year, which initially consisted of head girl Arsha Karnik, IGCSE captain Vibhuti Gada, and myself, school task force leader Nirjit Raja. As the council started conducting many activities, fellow Senate members, head boy Arish Birla, discipline captain Tripti Mohapatra, sports captain Neil Javdekar, and sports vice captain Isha Ramtike were inducted in the core team. We are glad to inform that the Student Council of 2021 has conducted a total of 10 events. We have received 1,000 plus Google Form entries. 500 plus students have participated in the events conducted by the Student Council. The 10 events that have been conducted are Independence Day, Guru Purnima, and 8 inter-house competitions. The following are the inter-house competitions conducted: Picturesque Online Photography Competition by Gargi Chaudhary, Discipline Squad; News Hour News Anchoring Competition conducted by Neelam Nanduri, Peace House Captain; War of Words Inter-House Debate conducted by Dhruv Chedda, Freedom House Captain; Happy Art Competition conducted by IGCSE Captain Vibhuti Gada; Movie Making conducted by Tarun Sitaraman and Aditya Gabra from the IGCSE section; Poster Making conducted by myself, Nirjit Raja; and lastly, the Scavenger Hunt conducted by Kashmir Khandelwal. We are also proud to inform that we have conducted one activity every month on an average. I understand that time truly does fly fast. It seems like yesterday when I was sitting with the council and we were brainstorming ideas to include in our first proposal or running around the school getting things in order. Though the past was different, we have conducted events for all the students from grade 1 to grade 12. Some of the events, like scavenger hunt and building bonds, had been specially conducted for the parents, also keeping them entertained during these hard times of the pandemic. With this, I have learned that leadership is not a luxury but a responsibility. The past year has been a whirlwind of ups and downs, of experiences and opportunities that have taught me things that go way beyond the classroom. It is a hard job, but it needs to be done. And I could not have done this without the wonderful group of people that made up this council. I'm ever so grateful to them for doing their best. Lastly, I would like to congratulate the new council, and I want you all to remember that there will be times when you will fail, there will be times when you will want to give up, but always remember that there are hundreds of people who are looking up to you. Be strong and keep your head high. All the best. Ending my tenure by being able to give this speech was a perfect ending to a wonderful year of memories and achievements. Thank you, and signing off one last time on behalf of the Student Council 2020-21.
Thank you, Nirjeet. We are amazed how the Student Council could run so many motivating events amidst the crisis of the pandemic. That was truly inspiring. On the basis of this report, we came to know that last year was the eventful one, and I am sure all the houses tried their best to bring victory. So let us know the results of all the houses. I would like to invite ICSE section head Yojna ma'am to share with us the performances of the houses and to declare the winner of the house trophy for the academic session 2020-21.
Good morning, everybody. I feel ecstatic today seeing these children take over, seeing these children growing into great leaders. They really have left no stone unturned this year. They conducted a lot of activities, balancing their studies. They were all locked up in their homes, but they thought about the other children who were at home, their parents, and they organized a lot of activities. They did not see the clock. They worked late night till 12 o'clock. At times they had meetings early in the morning. But then you have seen the results. They kept every child in the school engaged. And we didn't feel that we were out of school. We still felt that all these activities are happening in school. Thank you, Student Council 2021. I have the results of all the activities that they have conducted this year. So we have collated the scores, and I will just announce the scores and announce the house of the year. We could not conduct any sports activities for the obvious reasons. We will do that next year for sure. Peace House, 150 points. Unity House, 155 points. Equality House, 175 points. And the House Cup 2020-21 goes to Freedom House, 225 points. Congratulations to every house. And congratulations to the house captains, to the house masters for participating. It's not only the winning that is important. When you participate, you increase the chances of winning. Congratulations once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Yojana ma'am. Heartiest congratulations to the winning house. Let us now move forward with the investiture ceremony. Investiture means a formal investing of a person with authority, power, right, office, and dignity. The investiture ceremony is one of the most momentous occasions of the school, where the elected and selected members of the school senates are officially vested with their powers and positions. Years after years, it reminds us of the trust and confidence that we repose in our student council.
Today, as we celebrate the investiture of the new Student Council, we would also like to thank our graduating student leaders for their contributions to the school. Let us now welcome the Student Council of 2021-22. Each member now gets the privilege of being honored with badges, sashes, and stoles. The honors will be conferred upon them by their parents.
I would now like to request the parents Mr. and Mrs. Koshti, and Mrs. Iyer, and Mr. and Mrs. Sarkar to honor the members of the Discipline Squad of Equality House. Darsh Koshti, Ananya Iyer, and Sohini Sarkar. Darsh is a keyboard player and aspires to become a speed skater. Ananya loves to read, write, draw, and exercise. She aspires to be an archaeologist. Sohini believes that each of us must strive to be a good human being. She aspires to be a neurologist someday.
We request all these children to switch their cameras on. Darsh, is your camera on?
Sohini, would you please keep the camera on? Ananya? Darsh?
Ma'am, its camera is on.
Yeah, ma'am, even my camera is on.
Ma'am, we need to pin them. It's only then it's going to be possible.
I'll go ahead.
Yes, Tanish, you may go ahead.
Thank you, parents. I would now like to invite the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hiremat, Aunt Miss Sheikh, and Mr. and Mrs. Shah, to honor the members of the Discipline Squad of Freedom House. Tanmay Hiremat, Lehen Sajid Sheikh, and Rajveer Shah.
Lehen, is your camera on?
Yes, ma'am, my camera is turned on.
anything.
Tanmay is a gamer who loves to code and draw. He aspires to be a cardiologist. Lehen is a climate activist and dreams of becoming a theoretical and particle physicist. Rajveer is a basketball player who loves to read and help others. He aspires to join the Indian Civil Services.
Senates, would you please keep your cameras on? Lehen, your camera is not visible.
Thank you, parents.
Now, I would like to invite the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Gala, Mr. and Mrs. Vaidya, and Mr. and Mrs. Kale to honor the members of Discipline Squad of Peace House, Mansi Gala, Abhishri Vaidya, and Isha Kale. Mansi is a dancer who aspires to be an entrepreneur and dreams of having her own NGO. Abhishri loves to play the harmonium and she aspires to be an IAS officer. Isha is a singer and a gymnast. Her aspiration is to be a successful engineer. Thank you, parents. I would now like to invite the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Katyal, Mr. and Mrs. Gala, and Mr. and Mrs. Mansal to honor the members of the Discipline Squad of Unity House, Riva Katyal, Bhavi Gala, and Ayush Mansal. Riva is an avid reader and she aspires to be a doctor. Bhavi is a dancer who loves to draw and listen to music. She aspires to be a cardiologist. Ayush is a football player who loves programming. He wants to be a sports analyst. Thank you, parents. I would now like to request the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Mehta, Mr. and Mrs. Koshti, Mr. and Mrs. Nair, and Mr. and Mrs. Kuladia to honor the Deputy Discipline Captain, Radhika Mehta from Unity House, Discipline Captain ICSE, Sid Koshti from Unity House, Deputy Discipline Captain IGCSE, Amrita Nair from Peace House, and Discipline Captain IGCSE, Darsh Kuradia from Equality House.
I request you to go a little slow. They have to put the badges. Okay, please go slow.
Radhika likes practicing Bharatnatyam and aspires to be a thoracic interventional cardiac surgeon. Sid enjoys swimming and loves to play the keyboard. He aspires to become an ENT specialist. Amrita has a passion for reading and listening to music. She aspires to become a pediatrician. Darsh is a cricket player who aspires to become an entrepreneur. Thank you, parents.
I would now like to request the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Ravi Shankar, Mrs. Luman, and Mrs. Shinde to honor the assistant editors Ahana Ravi Shankar and Reva Luman From Peace House and IGCSE Assistant Editor Swarupa Shinde from Equality House. Ahana is a guitar player and aspires to be a gynecologist. Reva, who is a state-level taekwondo player, aspires to pursue medical science in future. Swarupa, who is a piano player, wishes to contribute towards the betterment of our society. Thank you, parents. I would now like to invite the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Saxena, Mr. and Mrs. Shetty, Mr. and Mrs. Ghosh, and Mr. and Mrs. Dhamane to honor the media editors Simon Saxena and Shreyas Shetty from Freedom House, print editor Divyanshi Ghosh from Unity House, and IGCSE editor Shreyansh Dhamane from Freedom House. Simone likes acting and aspires to be a psychiatrist. Shreyas loves programming and aspires to be a professional programmer. Divyanshi loves blogging and dreams of becoming an established author. Shreyansh enjoys playing badminton and wishes to become a concept designer.
I request other participants to pin these children so that you can see their parents put the badge for them. Whenever the names appear on the screen, please pin these children one by one. You can see their videos.
Thank you, parents. Now I would like to invite the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Bendale, parent, Ms. Savan, and grandparents, Mr. and Mrs. Sidgate, honor the Deputy House Captain, Dhruva Bendale from Equality House, and Ishani Sawant from Freedom House.
You may now go to participants list. Click on Dhruv Bendale, the 3 dots, and pin him. You can see him. Similarly, you can look for Ishani Sawant in the participants list. Click on the 3 dots and pin her. You can see her.
Yes. is a chess and football player who aspires to build a business empire. Ishani is a singer, actor, writer, and researcher who loves to draw and write. She aspires to be an author. Thank you, parents and grandparents. I would like to invite the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Shinde, Mrs. Minde, to honor the Deputy House Captains Arnav Shinde from Peace House and Soa Minde from Unity House. Arnav is a sportsman who loves to learn about nature, animals, and space. He aspires to be an astrophysicist. Som is a sportsman who wants to serve the army as a doctor. Thank you, parents.
I would like to invite the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Halwani and Mr. and Mrs. Mukherjee, to honor the house captains, Krishna Halwani from Equality House and Urja Mukherjee from Freedom House. Krishna loves to solve a Rubik's Cube, aspires to be a doctor. Is a bad player who aspires to become an entrepreneur. Thank you, parents. I would now like to invite the parents, Mrs. Bagua and Mr. and Mrs. Satish, to honor the captains, Jinaj from Jinaj is a table tennis player and surgeon. Nitya loves to act and wishes to be a lawyer. parents. I request the parents, Mrs. Utekar, grandparent, Mrs. Francis, Mr. and Mrs. Thakkar, and Aditya's elder brother, Master Jyot Kabra, as Mr. and Mrs. Kabra are on an urgent call, to honor the Deputy Sports Captain of ICSE section, Gulf Utekar, from Peace House, the Sports Captain of ICSE section, Nora Spassky, from Equality House, the Deputy Sports Captain of IGCSE section, Keshav Thakkar, from Equality House, and Sports Captain of IGCSE section, Aditya Kabra, from Unity House.
All the guests may pin the children one by one. You may pin Nora Spassky. Then you may unpin her and then pin Aditya Kabra. Followed by Garv Utekar and Keshav Thakkar.
Nora is an athlete who likes reading and aspires to be an environmentalist. Aditya aspires to become a theoretical physicist and dreams of winning the Nobel Prize. And dreams of becoming a data scientist.
Aditya, please switch on your camera. Student council members, please switch your cameras on. Only then we'll be able to see you. Yes, thank you.
Golf is a table tennis player and dreams of becoming a data scientist. Keshav dreams of opening his own gaming company and aspires to be an editor. Thank you, parents and grandparents.
I request the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Prasad and Mr. and Mrs. Lalwani, to honor the IBDB captain Sara Prasad and IBDB task force leader Seher Lalwani. Priya is an avid reader and she aspires to become a designer. Seher loves dancing and wants to be an entrepreneur.
Sarah, you're not visible, dear. Sarah and Seher.
Yes, yes, they are visible, ma'am. You need to pin them.
You parents. I request the parents, Mr. Bhabal, Mrs. Damle, and Mr. Karagol, to honor the ISA Technological Ambassador Aditya Bhabal from Unity House, the ISC Value Builder Anushri Damle from Unity House, and the ISC Ethical Ambassador Sachi Karogal from Equality House.
Go to the large gallery visible on the screen along with the others. Try that, please.
For writing and aspires to be a neurosurgeon. Anushri loves to play badminton and aspires to become a designer. Sachi is an avid reader and her aspiration is to become an entrepreneur. Thank you, parents. Now, I request the parents and grandparents, Mr. and Mrs. Agarwal, Mr. and Mrs. Vora, and Mr. and Mrs. Chopra to honor Junior Head Boy Arav Agarwal from Freedom House, Junior Head Girl Moksha Vora from Unity House, and the IGCSE Junior Captain Vihan Chopra from Peace House. Good at sports and aspires to be a cricketer. Moksha is a reader who aspires to be a space scientist. Vihan is good at sports and aspires to play for the national cricket team. Parents, I would now like to invite the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Bharule and Mr. Anand, to honor IC captains Akash Barule, and Soumya Anand from Unity House. Player who aspires to become a chartered accountant. Soumya is a taekwondo champion and enjoys reading during her leisure time. Thank you, parents.
I request the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Dhage and Mr. and Mrs. Sita Raman, to honor IGCSE Deputy Captain Sagarika Dhage from Peace House and IGCSE Captain Tarun Sitaraman from Unity House. Sagarika has a hobby of photography and dreams of traveling around the world. Tarun loves coding and aspires to be an artificial intelligence programmer. Thank you, parents. I request the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Singh and Mr. and Mrs. Ramteke, to honor the head boy, Rehan Singh, and head girl, Isha Ramteke from Peace House. Rehan dreams to travel to different places in the world and aspires to be a professor in English literature. Isha has won 8 national gold medals in running and dreams of winning the Olympic gold medal. Thank you, parents.
Our 2021 Senate will now relinquish their offices and hand over the responsibilities to the Student Council of 2021-22. Our former Equality House Captain, Rishi Vishwakarma, will hand over the flag to the current Equality House Captain, Krishna Halwani. Our former Freedom House Captain, Dhruv Cheda, will hand over the flag to the current Freedom House Captain, Urja Mukherjee. Our former Peace House Captain,
That'll stop the background. Thank you.
Our former Unity House captain, Ahan Kadam, will hand over the flag to the current Unity House captain, Nitya Satish. Our former ISC task force leaders, Nirjit Raja and Jignash Bhande, will hand over the responsibility to the current IBDP captain, Sara Prasad, and IBDP task force leader, Seher Lalwani. Our former ICSE sports captain, Neil Zawdegar, will hand over the baton to the current ICSE sports captain, Nora Spassky. And former IGCSE sports captain, Ashmit Kaur, will hand over the baton to the current IGCSE sports captain, Aditya Kabra.
Our former ISC captains Bhavya Sam and Mandar Gupta will hand over the flag to the current ISC captains Soumya Anand and Akash Bharule. Our former head boy, head girl and IGCSE captain Arush Birla, Arsha Karnik and Vibhuti Gada will hand over the school flag to the current head boy Rehan Singh, head girl Isha Ram Teke and IGCSE captain Tarun Sitaram. Now I request our head girl, Isha Ramteke, to lead the oath-taking ceremony.
I request everybody to pin Isha
The
Ramteke.
members of the
Also,
The
if
members
all
of
the office bearers stand, can all the office bearers stand up, please?
We, the members of the Student Council, do solemnly swear that we will unconditionally execute the position of the Student Council and will, to the best of our ability, support the ideas, activities, and institutional values of Billabong High International School. We promise that we will work with integrity and respect time. We will serve as a positive role model, leader, and voice for the student population and will represent students, teachers, elders, and support staff. We will also ensure systematic, disciplined, and productive interactions in the school and the community. Thank you.
It's time to hand over the Student Council Handbook. The teachers in charge of 2021-22, Ms. Bhavani Swami from ICSE section and Ms. Shanta Rege from IGCSE section. The Student Council Handbook consists of all the duties followed by the Senate members and the teachers. Our former head girl, Arsha Karnik, would now like to share her reflections.
Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam once said, dream, dream, dream. Dreams transform into thoughts and thoughts result into actions. What a year it has been. It's been full of ups and downs. 1 year back, I saw one of my greatest dreams get fulfilled at this very ceremony. As I took the solemn oath, I realized the power of dreams. Just 1 year ago, we all were standing in two lines with our palms sweating, hair set, uniform ironed, nervous to walk upon the stage to receive our badges. And today, we are here with our duties finally complete. You have to reach your destination once you start your journey. And for us, this is it. As we give up this batch today, we slowly realize that this is the beginning of the end of our school journey. The summer vacations, Diwali holidays, Christmas vacations were the last ones which we ever had from school. This journey of ours will last just a mere 4 months, but you don't need to be upset. Be happy that you have experienced it with virtual classrooms, staying at home much longer than comfortable, and a lot of uncertainty all around. Our student council has displayed spontaneity and excellence by conducting 8 inter-house activities, Guru Purnima event, and Independence Day virtually. I, on behalf of the student council, thank each and every one of you. Principal ma'am, thank you for being the guiding light for us and encouraging us to take up each and every challenge. Thank you for this experience, a journey so unforgettable and difficult to let go of that I don't want to reach the end. Thank you to all the heads and teachers. This school wouldn't have reached where it is now without you. Our council teachers, Bhavani ma'am and Shanta ma'am, thank you for being like mothers to us, answering our calls at any hour of the day and being so patient with us throughout the year. Thank you for everything. My council, thank you for being so enthusiastic and cooperative throughout the year. And last but not the least, my core team. From mere acquaintances to family, only we know the chaos that goes behind every event. My outgoing counsel, think about the year you have had, countless memories you made. It has been unforgettable. Being the head girl is so much more than organizing the events throughout the year. It is about the primary student shouting, "Hello, head girl." It is about being known as the head girl of Billabong High International School, Thane, rather than by your name. It is a privilege. And now my duty is over. I deliver the speech here in front of you for one last time as the head girl. And finally, the Student Council of 2021-22. You are the destination that we have reached on this journey. Look around you. The people with you are your family. Next year is going to be special. Treasure every moment of it, for you have been given this wonderful opportunity. Don't waste it. Make us proud and always keep the school flag flying very high. I was honored to be your head girl. Thank you.
Thank you, Arshia. You made us nostalgic for a moment. We wish you all the best for your future endeavors from the bottom of our hearts. I now call upon Rehan Singh, our head boy, to share his message on this auspicious day.
Shadows are always cast when the sunbeams shine. The night shall always loom as the day progresses. Doubt lingers when hope brims. The fear of failure threatens when the prospect of success brightens. But we must always remember that with sorrow comes joy, with destruction comes creation. On this note, a hearty good morning to one and all present here, and I wish everyone a happy Republic Day. Today, our country had become a democratic republic as the hope-filled tide of democracy washed away the ghastly memories of 200 years of oppression and tyranny. Today is a proud day for the entire Student Council team of 2021 to 22, not only as proud Indians, but also as proud students of Billabong High International School, Thane. We strongly believe that we are ready to lead our school through the fickle test of chance and circumstance that this new year has to offer us, both as leaders and inquisitive learners. Therefore, on behalf of the entire Student Council team, I wholeheartedly thank our fellow students, our beloved teachers and coordinators, our respected principal ma'am, and our relentlessly working ancillary staff for bestowing this trust and responsibility in us. We assure you that we shall do justice to your faith in us and fulfill our duties with our heads held high. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank, thank you, Rehan. Your speech shows your zeal and motivation towards your job. Before ending our ceremony, I request our respected Principal Ma'am to enlighten us with her motivating perspective so that we can be better and successful in future.
Namaste, Billabong. Beloved students, esteemed parents, and loving teachers. आप सभी को प्रजातंत्र दिवस की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं. During the pandemic year, I came across these very powerful lines, and I begin with these. वक्त कम है, जितना है दम लगा दो. कुछ लोगों को मैं जगा दूं और कुछ लोगों को तुम जगा दो. Let us be grateful. Just a second. Let us be grateful to God Almighty for having given us the courage, resilience, and direction to brave the pandemic and emerge stronger than ever. Every message conveyed by our determined and focused students today gives us hope and makes us believe that education is truly about building characters. And when as an institution we are able to excel in creating balanced, compassionate, knowledgeable, and empathetic human beings, our tall claims of nation building would be justified. Our future leaders make us proud. I fall short of words to appreciate the outgoing student council. They have proved that the best skills are learned during the worst crisis. These young, dynamic, fiery, yet balanced individuals will never let themselves, their family, and their country down. They will uphold and practice the universal values of love and brotherhood wherever they are and touch thousands of lives. They will give more than they receive. We bless them and wish them abundant happiness. Today, we usher in our new student leaders again at a time when uncertainty and apprehensions still loom over us. Yet, we believe that the bright sunshine that these energetic and dependable students exude will keep us warm and happy ahead. They will set new benchmarks, amaze us with their creativity and newness, and in the process get sculpted as fine leaders. A leadership position is not a bed of roses. A leader has to think of himself or herself the last. A leader has to sacrifice her or his comfort for the comfort and well-being of the ones he or she serves. Our faith in these little soldiers and leaders is unwavering. We trust you with the future of PHIS Thane. Together with your educators, you will make this a center of excellence, a model that will be emulated by not only the city or the country, but by the whole world. That big is our vision. I applaud the in-charge teachers, Ms. Bhavani Swami and Ms. Shanta Rege, the house mentors, and the team of educators under whose direction and leadership the Student Council created memorable moments throughout the year and will keep doing it in the coming year too. May we together create an institution of legacy where the learners and educators are empowered to ideate and design their own learning without the fear of failing and making mistakes, without the fear of being judged, without the fear of being left out. Here at BHIS Thane, we practice equity and invite the world to follow us. Educational equity means that each child receives what he or she needs to develop to his or her full academic and social potential. At this juncture, gratitudes are very important. Thanking our trustees, Shri Sudhir Goenka ji and Madam Kusum Goenka ji, our MD Shri Sashank Goenkaji for their faith in the team and constant support. Thanking all parents for having entrusted us with the responsibility to mold fine citizens for the world. Also, for conferring the badges and sashes today and helping us induct the new Student Council. And to the educators, the special people who strengthen the system of service beyond self. My heartfelt gratitude. I end with a quote by Mother Teresa, who I consider my role model. She says, "Go out into the world today and love the people you meet. Let your presence light new light in the hearts of people." May God bless us with more wisdom, power of goodness, and sense of service. Namaste. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am, for guiding us in every step of our journey. I now invite our former IGCSE captain, Vibhuti Gada, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning to all. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. Firstly, I would like to thank our trustee, Mr. Sudhir Goenka, our principal, Kalyani ma'am, and all our section heads for their immense support through all of this. Their guidance truly means a lot to all of us. A very special mention to our student council in charges, Bhavani ma'am and Shanta ma'am. You both truly inspire us students to keep working hard and keep our spirits up. Thank you for your kindness. Without you, the council wouldn't be what it is today. And finally, I would like to thank the students and teachers who made this program possible. Without your cooperation and hardworking attitude, none of this would have been possible. Even in these unusual times, all you students have kept your spirits up. You guys truly are amazing. A special thanks to Ms. Abira Chakrabarti and Ms. Shantani Mukherjee for helping out with the script, Ms. Dolly Mantode and Ms. Sonia for the Hindi script, Mr. Eknath Hoyer and Mr. Vishwajit Singh for ICT, Ms. Sashi and Ms. Priya Wagde for badges, and Mr. Ganesh Pednekar for invitations. This ceremony was not like our usual investiture ceremonies, but it was surely an amazing one. A very big congratulations to all the newly elected student council members. I surely know you will make our school proud. Be who you want to be and not who they want you to be. With this quote, I would like to thank all you amazing audience members for joining us today. Thank you everyone. Stay safe.
Thank you very much. We tried our best to put up a good show this morning. Despite our efforts, there were few glitches here and there. I would request everyone to excuse us for that. Once again, we wish you a happy Republic Day. I would also like to request all the newly elected and selected members of the Student Council to wait in the meeting